Hi guys! So I tried to make this a short video, but I talked all the way through it and I kind of enjoyed it. I never felt so comfortable doing that before. I'm feeling a lot better lately than I have been, so I'm probably not going to cut it down, and I'm not that sorry about it. But I have missed sitting in front of this camera filming for you, and I have had a break after saying that I was back. And that was because I thought I was feeling well enough to be back for good, but I had more personal problems, health problems to worry about, and I'm finally getting back on track, so no need to worry about me. I may make a video about that because it is an important subject that I feel like not many people talk about like openly, so I might do a video about that, but maybe not because it still kind of scares me. But I am feeling a lot better, and I really wanted to make this video for you because I have been loving this eyeshadow palette, as you'll see me gush about it, and it's totally not sponsored at all because I'm not that type of person. I just really love this stuff and want to share it with all of you. It's totally worth the money. It's kind of expensive. It's the same as all the other Naked palettes, but it's totally worth the money because it's so great, and you will see why. And so if you want to see how I achieve this very natural, everyday, go-to makeup look, just keep watching. Hi guys! So I already did my foundation because I was actually in the middle of doing my foundation when I thought, hey, I want to make a video. So I know it's been a long time, but I'll probably talk about that in the beginning or in a different video. So, sorry, my phone just went off, so I want to turn the sound off. So my foundation routine is already done, and that's the same as, I think, the last time I did a foundation routine with the Pur Cosmetics and everything. So that is nothing special. And now I'm just going to move on to contour, bronzer, blush, all that sort of thing. So I'm going to take, as always, my NYX highlight and contour palette. And I'm just going to take the first 3 shades. And I always mix them. I don't know why. I never tried them not mixing, but it's just what I do. So just the first 3 shades on this angled brush from Sigma. And I just like to take a little bit. I don't want to use a harsh hand at all, because I've been doing a new makeup look lately where I do everything lighter than before. Light and natural. So I'm just starting right here at my ear, and I'm just going straight out. And having an angled brush makes this really easy. See, look at that. Just a nice little shadow looking line is what we want. So I'm going to flip my hair over and do the other side. I have so much hair, guys, so much hair. It's always harder for me to do this side, so if it looks weird, that's why. And then just bring it up on your forehead, whatever's left over on the brush, and I just like to go under my neck a little bit, just to make sure all the colors are blending into my neck because I am very pale, so any difference is noticeable. And under my lip, and then down my nose. I don't do this all the time, also because sometimes I mess it up and it just looks dirty. But if it's just a little bit of product left on the brush, I will do it. And then I'll just blend it in with a different brush. So it's almost like we didn't even put anything on. But it works for me. Then I'll even sometimes go in and blend out the contour with this Sephora Pro Air 55 brush. And I just kind of circle up my cheek back towards my ear. You always want the most color to be right up here, because if you bring too much, especially with blush, if you bring too much in on the cheeks and closer to the nose, it's going to make you look just kind of like rosy, like you're sick, and it just doesn't look as great as if you were to just kind of lead it, like if you were to start up here and kind of blend it down. If that makes sense. I'll show you with the blush I'm about to do. Okay, so now I'm going to do my blush. And I'm just using NARS's blush in Orgasm. So I'm just going to take this Stifle brush. It is a dual fiber F50 brush from Sigma, like I think I said. And I'm just going to barely tap into this because this is pigmented, and then I even tap it onto my wrist before I put it on my face. So I will just go, I'll start down and then I'll work my way back up. And I'm just kind of patting this onto my cheeks. Alright, and that's good for blush for now because I don't like to go too overboard with blush until I see what the end product looks like with like the eyeshadow and eyeliner and everything. So for now, that is good. And now highlight, and I'm going to use my favorite highlight, and that is the Laura Mercier Matte Radiance Baked Powder in the highlight shade, which is number 1. Whoops, I dropped it. Okay. So that's what it looks like in the pan. You get like a lot of product in this. It was super expensive, but so worth it. Okay, so I'm taking my Sigma Spotlight Duster F37 brush. Just any sort of brush that you like to use for a highlighter, but this one's my favorite highlight brush. And I'm just going to sweep down my cheekbones. And wiggle on my nose. My upper lip. You could probably get a smaller brush to do this part, which I have, but I just like to do it with this one. It doesn't really matter. And just a tiny bit on my chin, and just a tiny bit on my forehead. So now moving on to eyes. I already did my eyebrows, and please do not judge when I zoom in and you see my eyebrows because they look so bad, especially this one. I just can't seem to fix it, and this one has such a better arch than this one, but I'm so annoyed, so I have to get them done, and I know it, so don't judge, but they're already done. So on to eyeshadow. I'm first going to prime my eyes with MAC's Painterly Paint Pot. You could just use whatever primer you have, but this one's my favorite because it really evens out my skin tone on my eyelids. And notice how I applied that with my ring finger only. I am using only one palette, and when I tell you I'm using only one palette, I actually mean it this time, nothing else. And it is the Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics palette. And I love this thing so much. I didn't think it would change my life the way it did. That sounds really dramatic, but I think it's worth it and called for. But look at those colors, all matte, which I never thought I would love so much. I'm holding it upside down just so you don't get blinded by the mirror. So I've been loving this thing lately, and I'm going to show you my go-to everyday eyeshadow look using only this palette. Alright, and yeah, we're going to start with a tapered blending E40 brush from Sigma, and I'm going to take, let's see if I can show you this without, okay, I'm going to take this color and this color, and I'll tell you what they are. It's Nudie and Commando. I'm going to mix those together on this big fluffy brush. And then I'm going to put that in my, it's going to be like my transition color almost. Just kind of putting it right, almost like right on this bone, like you know where the crease is, that socket, it's going to be on that, kind of like up from the crease on that bone, if that makes sense. Because I cannot figure out words today. And you can just kind of use windshield wiper motions. On this side, on this eye, it's harder for me to do fluid motions. I don't know why. It's kind of chatting. I've never really done a real chatty video. Not like this. Okay. work on this eye for a long time. Moving on from this eye because it never is what I want it to be. I'm then going to take another Sigma Taper Blending E40, but look at the difference between these two. They're the exact same brush, but can you tell which one looks fluffier? This one. And it's only because I washed it one time and I guess it like dried differently and I thought I was gonna hate it, but and I kind of did for a long time. I never used it until this palette, and it worked perfectly for that step. So I'm not even that mad about it anymore. But this is what it's supposed to look like. Not as fluffy as that. But that's what happens when you wash your brushes incorrectly. Alright, so now on this brush I'm taking Commando and Tempted. And Tempted is the color right next to Commando, so I'll show you that. That is this one right there. But I'm just taking that lightly on this brush and then kind of going like that to tap off any of the excess. And then that's going to go right in our crease. I'm just using windshield wiper motions going back and forth into the crease. And then you can even kind of lay it flat and drag it from the outer corner kind of onto the lid without going too far. Just to kind of make it a little bit smokier and seamless. And we will be blending again with the big brush. Not with the big brush, but the fluffier brush. But just notice how I'm not bringing it completely all the way in. I'm not going into the inner corner because we don't want to darken up the inner corner. We want to keep that nice and light. And I'm just taking the brush right into the crease so that it gets a little bit on that top bone that we already did and kind of shadows the lid without actually putting anything on the lid. It's one of my favorite things to do. So now I'm taking the big fluffy brush and just kind of blending over. And there's nothing extra on this. I'm just taking it as is and blending over the whole eye. Just to make everything seamless and blend together. Also, I didn't say this already, but today's Black Friday. So yesterday was Thanksgiving. If you are American, it was American Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to anybody who celebrates. I had an awesome time. I hope you did too. You can go ahead and leave a comment in the comments below if you had a good Thanksgiving and what your favorite part about Thanksgiving was this year. Mine was seeing all of my family members and playing with all the cute little babies because I feel like we have so many babies coming into the family right now that I just have so many to play with. Okay, and now I'm going to, I didn't even tell you what I'm doing. I'm taking the shade Blow, it's the very first one, and I'm putting it on this Sephora smudge brush, but it just looks like that. Let's see if I can do it. I'm holding too much stuff. That size, and it's like the perfect size to get into the inner corner of the lid, and I'm just kind of patting that on. I don't want to drag this, I just want to pat it. And this color Blow is like my new all-time favorite highlight inner corner color. And I'm just going to drag a little bit on the inner tear duct area. That looks super pretty. And now I'm taking the same color on my brow bone under my eyebrow. Okay, so I'm just going to blend some more. Now I'm going to take a little pencil smudge brush. This is actually the double-ended brush from the Naked Smoky palette, and I'm just taking the pencil end and I'm taking the shades Commando and Tempted, which are the shades that we put in the crease, and I'm going to drag that along the lower lash line. And I make beautiful faces when I do this. Okay, so you know how I said that this eye always kind of turns out worse than this eye, in my opinion? I mean like the lid, the eyeshadows on the top, because Actually, this eye has a better bottom lash line, I personally think, compared to this one. It just doesn't go on as nice. I think it has to do with the angle I'm coming at it. So this bottom lash line is always like my favorite thing, and then this one's just like, what happened? So now that that's done, I'm going to take an angled liner brush. This is just a Sephora one. You can use whichever one you have. And I'm going to go into the shade Lethal and the shade Lockout. And we haven't used either of those, so let me show you what those look like. So Lethal is just like a dark kind of plummy purple color. And then this one is Lockout, which is just like, not even dark brown, but a dark brown, darker than the ones we've used. I don't like to use, I haven't been liking to use stark black as eyeliner on my eyes. Just because I'm very pale and this eye look is very light, that it just doesn't look as good, I think. So I just like to take those two colors, mix them on an angled liner brush. I don't know which mirror I like better to do this. And then we're going to line the top lash line, but we're going to kind of keep it super close to the lashes as much as we can because we don't want it to be a super thick line. And you can wing it if you want, but I'm not going to wing it. And my tip is that I don't like to drag when I do this. I definitely just like to kind of poke it. Not poke it, that sounds like it hurts, but you know what I mean. I don't like to drag it along the lash line because it is shadow and it's dark shadow, so it could have fallout if it stumbles. So. And I also make really cute faces when I do this, as you can tell. I'm not taking this all the way in, but I'm taking it pretty far in. Now I'm doing the next eye. And I'm not perfect at this part, so it does get a little off sometimes, but that's fine. That's fine. Nobody's perfect. So now I'm going to take those same colors and just kind of put it along the lower lash line, right at the lashes. And I'm only taking this like halfway, if that, in. Do you see how different that looks? And I do the exact same thing. And I put it in the exact same spot on the eye, but for whatever reason, it looks so much different from eye to eye. But what I do is I just kind of take this same pencil smudgy brush that we used before on the bottom lash line, and I just kind of blend it together. And you want to be gentle because you don't want to poke your eye and get eyeshadow in your eye. That's not good. Now we're going to move back to fixing up the eyelid, and I'm just going to take that color Blow on the same brush, and I'm just going to kind of go over it. Not necessarily on top of the eyeliner, but just kind of reassuring that the color that was there is still noticeable. See? I like that. I like that a lot. And then I just go in one more time, and this time I will take the big fluffy brush and dip it into Commando, and then just blend over everything. And I like this palette because you can do darker looks and you can do lighter looks, and I feel like this looks darker than it has any other day that I've done it, but it still looks good. So yeah, and you can always check out my Instagram because I think it's on Instagram, maybe it's on my Snapchat, it might be on both, but they will both be linked down below, and then you'll see the pictures that I do of my makeup every day. Every day I do makeup. Almost every day I do makeup, I take a picture of it because I like the way it looks and I want to have it as a memory to look back on for later days when I want to do makeup and I say, how do I want to do it? Now mascara. Can't forget that. Alright, I'm using the CoverGirl Clump Crusher. It's my absolute favorite, but I am running out, so I'm going to have to do 2 coats of mascara, which I don't normally do with this look. Normally I can just do 1 and it looks fine. But I'm going to have to do 2 coats, and I'm going to have to go in with the Tarte's Lights Camera Lashes to do that. In case I do this off camera, I'm telling you now. But I do have to go out shopping today and get more mascara. Difference in the lashes. Whoa. Maybe I don't need 2 coats of mascara. Maybe I got this one pretty good. I really like to get the mascara with a curved wand like this because I like to kind of go over it for the first time and kind of hug the lashes with the dip side up. And then I like to go behind with the larger part and go behind the lashes and kind of roll it out. And then I even like to take that part and make it a hump like that and go wiggle up the lashes, and that adds some volume to the lashes. So I definitely like to coat the back of the lashes because then you can get, if you miss like some of the longer lashes when going up, it's another chance to get the lashes that might be longer than the others. So I just kind of look down and just kind of feel it. And yeah, I actually did really well with that mascara, so I'm not going to put on the other one like I thought I had to. And okay, so now I'm just going to tell you that this really is my everyday go-to makeup look. I stopped wearing makeup for a long time. Actually, let me zoom you out to tell you this. So because of some like personal health reasons, I have not been on YouTube, and since the last time I made a video, and I really was upset about it. But then I got this palette in the mail, and I was like, I am going, because I think I skipped over the part that I didn't wear makeup for like 3 months at a time because I was feeling sick. So then I got this palette in the mail, and I looked at it and I was like, wow, this is so pretty, and it really inspired me to do my makeup again, and that just kind of helped me feel better. Looking nicer helped me feel better, even though I had people tell me, well, you look fine without the makeup, and I was like, yeah, whatever. I honestly think I look so much better with the makeup on, and it makes me feel better about going out in public and seeing people. So this is my actual go-to everyday look. I didn't change anything about it from what I do every day. And I've worn it to work, I've worn it on dates, I've worn it up to visit my friends at college, I have just worn it every day to Thanksgiving even. This is the exact look I wore to Thanksgiving. So it is a totally doable, wearable look, especially it's nice if you're pale like me, but it would look good on other skin tones too. And the best part about this palette, this is not sponsored by the way, I just really love it, is that all the colors just like gradually increase in intensity. They even have some cools and some warms. So if you do have a different skin tone, you still have a color that's good for you. You can just kind of start lower down. Like I started all the way at the top and only went halfway in because I'm so pale, but you could start halfway in and kind of work your way down if you have darker skin tones. So perfect palette. I love it so much. And yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed this look because I had so much fun doing it for you. I am not going to do a lip today just because I've been liking my natural lip, but I would totally rock any color because this is such a neutral look. You could rock any color with this eyeshadow face look. So yeah, so totally go ahead and do that, apply your lip, but I'm not going to today. I am just going to go shopping and go to the movies with my sisters. So yeah, so I hope you had a great time watching this. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and if I don't see you, a wonderful holiday season in general, so whether that's Christmas or whatever you celebrate, or if you don't, I still hope you have a great time, and I hope to see you in another video soon. Please, please, please give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to leave a comment about your favorite part of Thanksgiving, because I really want to know how your Thanksgivings went, because it's my favorite holiday and it just gets me so happy. So yeah, I guess that is all I have to say, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.